Hey there, everybody. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. I almost didn't mute myself on the other screen, but we're good to go now. Yeah. So thank you all for joining Open Source Thursdays. I know it's just me for now. Taylor's gonna be joining us in just a bit. And until then, I'm gonna update us a little bit about what's been going on. This is our first stream back after Hacktoberfest, and what a Hacktoberfest it was. It was a lot of fun. We got a lot of really cool contributions. We had the opportunity to partner up with the rest of the team at CodeC and do some really cool stuff when it comes to collaboration, code reviews, and things just keep on coming. And I'm so excited to show you a lot of the progress that we've done, because we've made quite a bit of progress. And yeah, once Taylor hops on, we'll get an update from him at what the folks, what the rest of the team at Distributate have been up to, and yeah, how we can collaborate there. Because if not, let me see if I got my link right here. Yes. Distributate is, as always, looking for contributions of any kind, be it code or financial, for their work for their impact work. And so for that, I'm going to link their Open Collective here. Please, as always, do consider, as I said, contributing either in code or in contributions where you can, of course. Yeah. Of course, powering these grassroots organizations is so important, and helping everybody out and making sure that aid can come to folks is really key. But I'll let Taylor say that even better than I once he joins in. So until then, you know what I'm going to do, folks? I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and show you a little bit of what we've been up to over the last couple of weeks, because we've covered quite a bit of ground. We took last week off in order to just get some breathing room after a quite intense Hacktoberfest. Here we go. I've got the wrong layout. There we go. Yeah. So, a couple of things we've been up to. We've gotten quite a few pull requests in from folks contributing. What I hope they're watching the stream. We're not keeping an eye out for these, these issues and helping us out where they can. Every little bit of help helps. Yeah, and we've got some folks that have been really kind in honoring us with their code, and that means the world, because this is the sort of thing where everybody mutually benefits. I've really enjoyed being able to contribute to Distributate, because it's been an opportunity for me to learn and to collaborate. Oh. So we spent a lot of time. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh, that went down the wrong pipe. Pardon me. So yeah, we did a lot of website development for Distributate, and also a little bit of shipment tracker development. So one thing I want to start doing today, that I've been meaning to do for a while, is to start taking a look at these dependency updates, because we've got an automatic, I believe it's a GitHub action. Let me just verify that. Let's have a look, see here. Nope. It would appear it is a bot, but I don't know where it is. To latest, that's on push. I don't actually know. We're gonna have to ask Taylor once he comes on where these are coming from, because I think he said that here we go. Wait for dev server to start. No, that was in March. We recently had those come in. But anyway, so what we've got a bot running, from Renovate, that automatically will put in a pull request to update one of the dependencies of the Distributate website project itself. And over the last month, they've been popping up quite a bit. So let's have a look-see at one of them. And it's really nice because it gives you like a breakdown of what took place. Oops. So you can see here what's changed since this. Oh, sorry, I've got this still running here. So you can see what's changed since that in this pull request, which one of these have been updated and they've been pinned. That means that that the versions of these dependencies have been locked in place. So that's cool. So you can see all of these were pinned. And so let's see here. Renovate will wait until you have merged this pin PR before creating any upgrade PRs for the affected packages. Add the preset preserve semver changes to your config if you instead don't wish to pin dependencies. Yeah. So schedule at any time, auto merge disabled by config. Please merge this manually once you're satisfied. Whenever PR is behind base branch or you tick this is rebased whenever PR is behind base branch or you tick the rebase retry checkbox. This PR will be recreated if closed unmerge. If you want to rebase and retry this PR, just click this checkbox. I like rebasing. Let's do it. Nice. Nice. We can also, of course, see the CodeC Map that came with this PR, and these are opened automatically. This is something provided by CodeC where we can see, okay, these two files have changed, and we can also double click on one to see what that diff looks like. It looks quite similar. Oh, nice. So we can see here what's changed. Excellent. Excellent. Looks good. And I think this is new. I'm going to have to show this to Taylor once he comes in. Is once everything is reviewed. So 1 of 2 files reviewed. Nope, never mind, folks. Cool. So once this is done, had a problem deploying to preview. I think this didn't work yet, but if we do a squash and merge, we should be good to go. Merging can be performed automatically with one approving review. So let's go ahead and approve that. It's a bot, so I'm gonna just approve it and let it do its thing. So once that's all run, we can go ahead and squash and merge it. So we can go ahead and do that. Now, once that's done, deleted the renovate pin dependencies branch, what we can do is I've got a Git pod running here. Let me make the text a little bit bigger. I realize it's quite small. Sorry about that, folks. We do it like this. There we go. In fact, I'll make the window a little bit taller so that we get some more screen real estate. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Make that bigger. Make that smaller. Great. So we've got Distribute's website running here. I'm just going to pull the latest version, do a yarn install, and see how that goes. It's always a good time to do these yarn installs live, but yeah, excellent. So yarn dev. So that seems to be running just fine, which is good news. Let's get that going in the app itself so that we can check, just make 100% sure that everything looks good. But we can see, y'all can't see it, folks, but I'm getting a lot of emails of dependencies being updated. Let's have a look while that runs. Yeah, see? We've got, they're just going to keep on coming. That's fine. That's fine. That's what we're doing here. Just wanted to give you a little bit of an insight today as to how these work and how these bots can help us keep our dependencies, safe and happy as these get out of date or, security compromises happen. So I'm just going to take that URL. Oh, I'm still getting lots of them. Okay. So everything's working as usual, which is good news. Oh my goodness, folks, you got to see this. Let me just update real quick. Yes. So I'm getting a ton of email, and so these two are quite new and have just gotten updated. Yeah. So let's keep that going, shall we? So I'm gonna until Taylor gets here, we're gonna just review a couple of these dependency updates and hang out doing so. This PR contains the following updates. So React Helmet got updated. I think if you want to rebase/retry this PR, click this checkbox. Yes, please. And oh yes, we'll need to review that. React Helmet got updated. Perfect. Let's approve that and merge it. Nice. Squash and merge. We're just going to do a couple of these. As you can see, my objective today is to sort of make sure that all of these pull requests get cleaned up so that, because I don't know about you, but when I go to a new project and I see a lot of open pull requests, I think a little bit to myself like, is this project okay? So it makes sense to, check on these and make sure that everything's working as fine. So as you can see, a lot of these are updates on the patch level. So, when you've got dependencies that are in semver or semantic versioning, you've got major, minor, and patch level updates. And patch means that they fixed some bugs, but not really changed anything fundamental so as to breaks. It shouldn't break stuff when you update it. So let's go ahead and approve that and just keep these coming. Yeah, nice. Confirm, squash, and merge. Perfect. Excellent. Nice. How are we doing? 21 pull requests, down to 20. Perfect. Okay. Update dependency TS jest to a newer version. Makes sense. So we'll just be doing a bunch of these. Folks in the chat, I'd love to hear from you. Do you do a lot of these reviews? That are like, oh my goodness, I've got so many dependencies. What happens to me is that sometimes if I make a fun little project and I'll kind of, let it ooh, I forgot to did I forget to? Yes, please rebase/retry. Click this checkbox. Sorry, folks, I got distracted. Enable auto merge squad. Automatically merge. Whoops. Auto merge. Squash. Oh, no, no, no. I don't want to do that. Package.json has a conflict. Let's resolve that conflict. Can I do that here? Nice. Yeah, I think the problem here is that this got mixed up with this. Okay, it doesn't look too bad. These I didn't know about this conflict resolution stuff in GitHub. This is quite nice. So if I mark that as resolved, V prevails. Oh, ooh. Let's see what V prevails has to say. I had to update a 2-year-old single page application last week, and I'm still a bit traumatized. Oh no. How bad was it? Like, did you have to? I think I've got a talk coming up where I'm gonna be like showcasing an Electron app that I wrote last year and haven't touched in a while, and I'm frankly quite nervous about it because it involves microphone stuff, and I'm scared about showing it off on Mac OS because Mac OS and I we have a history where we don't get along very well. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, V prevails. So I guess that went okay. I guess we survived that. Does this mean that it's good to go now? Yes, no conflicts. Phew. Yeah, let's squash and merge that. Oh, V prevails, right? Just the kind where you had to update one dependency and then another starts screaming. It's just, and then you're so happy when people wrote a good migration guide. Yes. Oh my goodness. There is shout out to the React people. Absolutely. I've never had like a really tricky React update process, but last year I had to do one for a React native project that hadn't been updated in over a year, and that, let me tell you, that'll change a person. But again, it was one of those things where the community behind React Native, they have these dedicated tools that give, oh yeah, the native ones. Yeah. Those folks are incredible, let me tell you, because they went through the trouble of creating these dedicated, really awesome tools for that show you like a diff of the configuration stuff between like old versions of React Native. Because the thing about React Native, right, is that you have to balance not just React itself. And if you've got TypeScript on top of that, then there's TypeScript, React, all of the React stuff. And then there's two more area like sources of entropy. Is that right? Yeah. Sources of entropy is was iOS and Android, each having their own changes over the years. So it was a lot of work. V prevails, right? My colleague has to do that as well. Yeah. But now there's Expo or something, right? It changed their lives. Yeah, I've heard good things about Expo. Um, I believe it kind of, and I could be totally wrong, so please correct me. I think it adds like a web layer on top of that makes working with um, React Native apps on mobile a lot more easy, a lot easier. If you're not familiar with React Native, it lets you write mobile apps with React. Um, I despite the story I just told, I I do like React Native a lot. Aha, check it out, by the way. GraphQL CodeGen TypeScript got a minor update, which is still okay. It just means that it changed some. How does that work again? I think it's semver.org. Semver.org. Major version when you make incompatible API changes, minor version when you add functionality in a backwards compatible manner, and patch version when you make backwards compatible bug fixes. Meaning that despite the fact that TypeScript that oh, Taylor's here. Let's say hi to Taylor. I'm just going to add him in real quick. Hey, Taylor.
Hey, what's up, everyone? In a hotel room this time instead of a camper. It's been nice to take a hot shower and have some decent Wi-Fi. How y'all
Good
doing
to
today?
have you.
Thanks, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, we're doing some updates to our dependencies for the website, talking like doing a little bit of like understanding what semantic versioning is and how that works, and how to be
Oh,
critical when doing this stuff, and sharing some less than ideal experiences of major upgrades we've had to do.
oh,
Oh,
really? Breaking changes and all that?
yeah, V
Yeah.
prevails writes, welcome Taylor.
What up, B? Um, yeah, no, it's one of those kind of maintainer sort of problems we get to look at through this stream. And, if there is a new version of React or Node or Gatsby that comes out with breaking changes to their API,
Mm-hmm.
when do you upgrade? How do you plan around that, right?
Yeah.
Can you build a regular process around that? Like with some of these auto merging tools, I think Marcus might have helped set up and that we're reviewing now, or do you have to say, okay, end of the quarter, let's halt work and upgrade all our big dependencies and deal with any
Yeah.
breaking changes, and then we're good to go next time. So
Yeah, that's actually something I'm dealing with in some of my client work where, it's been a while. It's this React Native project. So it's been a while. It's time to take a step back and, go over those again.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, and that gets into this interesting topic of technical debt, especially on greenfield projects.
Yeah.
You're trying to get a prototype, or in this case, a website out the door. How much do you say, let's just get this done, whatever's right in front of us, versus planning that architecture and like planning for future improvements or upgrades? But interesting thing here is that having outdated dependencies is not necessarily technical debt that you cause, right? And so it's something that you have to talk about. Do we need the latest features versus the kind of engineering time it'll take to make this upgrade happen? But that's really driven by these external factors, other teams working on the open source, libraries that you're using, or maybe other internal teams at your company or something.
For sure.
Awesome. I don't want to interrupt too much though. It seemed like you're kind of on a roll. Do you want to wrap up
Oh,
the bit that you're doing, and I'll listen on and pay attention?
oh, all good, all good. We were, yeah, I was taking a look at this change to the GraphQL code generator. Just taking a look because there was a minor version here,
Hmm.
and so I wanted to make sure that this wouldn't introduce any breaking changes. But as I saw here in semantic versioning, minor means that you add functionality, but you don't break any. You know what I mean? Without
Yeah,
breaking, with a backwards compatible manner. So it's totally fine to upgrade, to do this upgrade here. I was just about to approve and merge that, frankly.
let's make it happen. But that's another interesting part of this. Okay, we know that through semantic versioning, there's new functionality available. Nothing's going to break. It shouldn't, right?
Yeah.
But there might be features that would be, interesting to know about to see if we wanted to apply those or add them in. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. Is there a way to understand that? Does semantic versioning extend to something like a change log, or how would we go about finding out what the improvements are and if they're relevant or not?
That's a good question. I think for me, what I would do is sort of like, hmm, especially as apps add lots of interdependent dependencies. You know,
Hmm.
how would I go about doing that in a way that's healthy for the project? I'm not sure if I have a strategy. I'd love to hear from folks in the chat if you have one. Because for me, what I tend to do is sort of like upgrade like the biggest one, like say React or
Hmm.
something, see what, like, go through that in the best way I can, make sure that, for example, I can still run the app, and sort of like let the changes, no, let the breaking changes sort of trickle from there.
Hmm. And then you
And
might need to upgrade other libraries or shared dependencies or something to make that big React update happen.
exactly,
Hmm.
exactly. And I think folks have different ways of going about it. Mine is that I sort of like pull the lever, let everything break, and then get it back in a working state.
Hmm. Yep. Yep.
I guess I would call that an outside in approach.
Hmm. Kind
But
of
I would,
rebuild the IKEA furniture sort of situation.
yeah, that's a good way to put it. Exactly. But of course, there's different ways to go about it. Like another one might be, for example, going at it from the approach of like, making upgrading maybe a bunch of dependencies to
Hmm.
the latest minor version, and then one by one go by updating the major versions of those.
Hmm.
I don't
Yeah.
think there's a wrong way to go about it. I mean, like, especially when you mentioned these times where you have to, end of quarter, let's go through everything and see how, and see what needs
Hmm.
updating, just to manually go through your, for example, your package JSON file, and just go, like, what I'll do is, for example, just a random package that I can think of. I would go to npmjs.com. Yes. You can tell I haven't done it in a while, and looked at, for example, React navigation, which, unless I'm mistaken, is yes, routing and navigation for
Hmm.
React Native apps.
Hmm.
Take a look. Did I do that right? Yeah. Take a look at what the latest version is, and just see their dependencies and see how they interact
Hmm.
there. So go there, upgrade that, and then go from there.
Right on. And that makes a lot of sense. Like make sure that at least that next layer of dependencies are also upgraded. And maybe by doing that first, then going back and upgrading React navigation as a whole is a bit of a smoother process. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The other great thing is, and V Prevails touched on this earlier, is that there's like people write migration guides. Shout out to React as React migration guide. So folks will write write these blog posts. Let's see if this is it. Gradual upgrades. I'm just gonna search for migration. Great. Most of your maybe not here. But now I can't think of one. Migration guide. No. Maybe it is here. Sorry. But either with change logs or this sort of thing, like have these special guides that help you get to the latest version of a dependency.
If you have like this kind of React folder and there's a change in where that content should live, like how would you restructure your project a bit, right? I feel like some of these major, if people start a new project with the latest version, all of the Bootstrap kits and GitHub projects will be updated. And so it'll just kind of work. One thing I like to do sometimes is just create a new project, like with the basic hello world sort of setup, and then look at my project structure compared to that greenfield one. And that sparks an idea here. That would be an awesome thing for CodeC Maps, right? Around these, check it out, right? So you have your Bootstrap, React, Gatsby setup or whatever, and you could kind of track the core files, the default ones that get generated from that. And that's not going to have a lot of custom stuff, a lot of that scaffolding and kind of code infrastructure and things like that, right?
I gotta write this down.
I know. And then you have, let's say, our project, our landing site project, and we need to bump up the React version or the Gatsby version, or even just automatically if we have, a PR that is depths upgrading, right? Through us, through this bot that we're running. And then, you could take that canonical fresh start Gatsby map and compare it with this project's one. And it should be fairly obvious, maybe even using some of those labeling features of like, these are pages, these are style sheets, this is the stuff we'd expect to exist in ours and not the starting one, right? But you could also make sure that those key folders, those utility files, things, that the new project might have to support its library and its code base and give you that project structure exist in the new one. And now we're getting kind of targeted, it's better than a change log of here's what's changed on React, but here's what's changed on React in the context of your project to help you understand how to get to that kind of fresh state.
I love this because two things. First off, V Prevails adds that they usually have these on their own blogs, which are really useful. These change logs and migration guides, which I agree are super handy. But to what you said, Taylor, and I was telling V Prevails about this too. I want to give a huge shout out to the React Native community. Native migration guide, I think, upgrade guide. They have this tool, which is exactly the React Native upgrade helper.
Oh, nice.
And I want to give a shout out to my friend Pavlos, who helps with this because it's so good, because it's exactly what you described. Check it out, Taylor. You can say like, okay, what's your current React Native version?
Right.
And be like, I don't know. Last year I had to upgrade from, I believe, React Native 54, let's say, to React Native 61, right? And what it'll do is give you an exact, not just change, like each change logs for these. V Prevails writes, that's the dream.
For all the different, pretty much. Like here is the different. Okay.
But also like the diffs between the configuration files for these. Like, yes, like I want to scroll a little bit down.
That's perfect. I mean, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And what I love about CodeC Maps is like that helps me understand those diffs, right?
Yeah.
Instead of looking at a lot of this is like, the prettier rc.js, that's a lot of configuration and stuff. So to really read through something like this at the code level and understand what it means for my project, I don't necessarily care about a lot of those files or changes. It's more of like, how do those changes relate to each other? Where do they link up to my code, for example, right? Things like that. And so
Sure.
that's where maps can just take this diff and sit on top of it. And it's like one of those PR diffs for our project. That's the same sort of workflow, the same sort of understanding to really streamline that process.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love this. Noreen shares, wow, I've never seen a changelog with diffs. Yeah, this is a community project. I believe this is from React Native community. So it's not actually from the React Native project itself. I could
Open
be wrong.
source, y'all. That's what we're talking
Open
about.
source. Yeah. Yeah, no, I adore this tool and it saved my butt last year.
Nice.
Can highly recommend it. But yeah, so that's what we were up to earlier.
Cool.
We were up to before you joined, Taylor, is showing like a little bit of how I wanted to ask you, Taylor, are you familiar with Renovate?
No, I'm not. I think Marcus is, and I asked him about it, and he said it was definitely a good thing to add to the project. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if he initially set that up or if that's something that GitHub is doing now to just try to help projects keep their dependencies up to date. So I don't know if it was like one of the default GitHub bots or if that was something that was explicitly added. But
No, it's been super handy because it's allowed me to sort of like get a bird's eye view of what needs updating. So I think for today, what I'll do is I'll let these dependencies be pinned. I'll finish up this last one,
sure.
which puts us at a good place to sort of like wrap that up and continue talking about development. I caught us up on what we're doing with Hacktoberfest, and we
Awesome.
can see here, we've got a pinning, we've got a minor update, another minor update, and the yarn lock. So that's done, and that's done. Let's merge that in. I love what you say here, V Prevails. Let's make dependency updates feel like taking a spa day to reset.
Yeah.
I think that's wonderful. And I think a lot something that resonates with me a lot. Okay, so that's I'd say good to go. So we've got it down from 25 to 19 pull requests. I'd say not
Nice.
too shabby.
Yeah, and definitely an interesting kind of angle to explore, right? And getting to look at all these different parts of running an open source project. But we don't need to do another 19 right here on the stream.
No, I think what I'll do is like after we're done today, I can go ahead and do the rest of those so that we can focus on some cool coding stuff today.
Yeah, for sure. And glad we got everyone caught up for October. I did want to mention, if you've been contributing to Hacktoberfest projects like our landing site or others that are on the OSS port website, they still have that Hacktoberfest tab open, and you can fill out that form to snag your swag. Do you know when that closes, Ramon? Because at some point people gotta...
Yes, actually, I'm afraid it closed last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's still up on the site, so I was looking for a date or something. So
yeah, sorry, no, I took that banner down and I meant to remove that page.
Well, hey, everyone, quick hack life pro tip. If you go right now to oss-port.com, there's still a form up, so you can try to slide in, before. I'll keep Ramon busy on stream, and, if you did make those contributions, I think I might need to do that for the maintainer bit right there. So
I can neither confirm nor deny that will work.
Yeah, we'll see.
No, that's totally fair. So that's what we got up to. I was showing folks like the cool contributions to the landing page that we got, which were amazing, and nice. I'm so thankful to all of you. One of the things that came up, so we've got some issues here, and we've also got, I believe, we had somebody claim this issue, but then it didn't get updated since.
Okay.
And the person unassigned themselves. So I think it makes a good idea. If you would like, Taylor, depending on how you want to go about this, we can start we can start working on the navigation bar, or talk
Yeah.
about like how to, you know, how the how to start designing that region page that we've been working on for a while.
hmm
What are you
Um,
thinking?
I feel like either of those would be great. They both kind of involve that angle we were going on, looking at, getting more content in there, but also how to display it, how to style it with Tailwind, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe since we have it up right now, just diving in with the navigation bar.
let's do it.
If you wanted to kick us off, yeah,
Sure
cool.
thing. So I've got our Git pod going here. I will have to pull because we made some updates. So we'll need to yarn install. And while that's installing, I'm going to go ahead and be a good citizen and claim this issue.
Awesome. And that was really awesome to see how the person who wanted to try that issue out did assign it to themselves and then unassign themselves when it wasn't a good fit for them.
Totally.
That's super helpful, like something super helpful that contributors can do to just say, hey, this is where I'm at with it, right? If that changes. And that way we know it's free to pick up right away.
Yeah, that's really considerate because, of course, like, otherwise it would require sort of like, messaging somebody and be like, hey, you still want to work on this?
Mhm.
And, give it sort of a certain amount of time, making a decision as to how long is enough to be able to say, like, hey,
Yeah.
it's been, I don't know, couple weeks now. It
Mhm.
makes sense to take it over for now,
Yeah.
or to assign it to somebody else who is interested.
Well, and you do want to be respectful. Like some people like to take an issue and then go work offline, and so I'd say always
Exactly.
reach out and ask. But at some point, we don't know if someone's actively working on it in the background, right? Or if they've
Hmm.
forgotten entirely about distribute aid and this issue that you know. So it's like you want to make it really easy for people to jump in, and then definitely appreciate, the mechanisms to just stay in touch about what's going on, like we saw here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So with that, we can start up the server, do an update, and then we're good to go. With that said, let's dive right in. So what's our issue here? We had, from what I remember from last time, we had the issue that the logo didn't fit fully.
hmm
The logo title was in there and sort of like hidden behind the text. Do you remember?
Yeah. Yeah. Right. And we kind of worked on that on one of the previous issues where it's taking the file name from Contentful or like the title from Contentful and then
Yeah,
showing that as an H3 under the photos by default. So,
exactly.
yep.
So let's start. I would propose we go by this in order. Um, you know what, Taylor? And
Mhm.
I'm super happy to navigate if you would prefer to drive.
Yeah, totally. I'm just trying to pull the Figma file up
Oh
so
yeah,
we
yeah.
can take a look at the design and let me shoot that to you. And then if you want to navigate, I'm happy to drive or vice versa. Pretty
Sounds
go
good.
with the flow. Yeah, that's our, sorry, one sec here.
All good. So this is what the Figma design looks like now. Can I? I'm not very good at Figma. Can I hide these sidebars?
Let me take a look. Maybe if you click the thing at the top there, like the arrow, it'll go away. No?
Doesn't look like it,
Hmm.
but it's all right. I think folks can see what we're looking at here, which is the nav bar. Here we've got the logo at the top left, and then right aligned we've got the links.
hmm
And on the site itself, it looks like this at the moment. So everything's kind of centered.
Right on. I'm just
Oh,
pulling that up myself, and then we can switch over the screen share. And
sounds
I
good.
have you pulled the latest from Saga. Did you start a new branch for this
I
issue?
I haven't yet. I'm gonna do that right away.
Okay, cool.
So that would be git checkout B, and then we had feature style. And that will be the name of the issue, which is 68. Navbar styling. That sounds good.
Awesome. Cool. Okay, I think I'm ready to switch over when you are.
Yep. Go ahead and share your screen, and then I'll do the switch. Perfect. I see it now.
Sweet.
So now Taylor's screen is
Right,
is being streamed. Folks, if the text size is too small, please do let us know. From my end, it looks okay.
Looks okay.
But yeah, do please let us know if it should be any bigger.
Sweet. Okay, so we're running the server, and that should do. Does yarn dev? Okay, we did the install here. So got it merged in, did the install, created a new branch, and we're running the server right now, which means that this guy showing what we're working on should be working. There we go. And so, like you said, we have the logo's too big. If we highlight it, there's some text.
Oh yeah, there it is.
The title right there. And then we have these different links. We wanted to right align them. So looking at the design here, now these links are controllable from Contentful, which is cool. And keeps it a bit dynamic. Yeah, I might have over-engineered that a bit when starting off. It might have been simpler to keep them static and then add that in, right? So we might want to kind of roll back that from a complexity standpoint at some point. But now let's just focus on getting the logo going. And
sounds good.
Sweet.
Okay. So we would need to look at let's do a CodeC recording to see where that navbar gets gets rendered.
Okay, I gotta log in the CodeC real quick.
Oh yeah, all good.
One second.
Rails asks, container has Flexbox? I think it does, but I haven't looked at we haven't looked at the markup yet. Oh yeah. I think it does. Doing a little logging in.
Yeah. Open up the old 1Password.
Very good. Yeah, I think we should be able to do that because I kind of got the feeling that the logo, the navbar itself was constrained, had a maximum width.
There was something like that, yeah. And
the Figma didn't really. I kind of get the feeling that the Figma should extend all the way. What do you think? No, you know what? Let's make it consistent with other stuff. Ignore me.
Good to think it through, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Going back.
I see.
Here. Sweet. Yeah. No. Love the idea. So.
Beaver Rails has an idea. So, because if it is a Flexbox, we can just use justify content space between on the navbar. On the navbar container could work if the menu and image are both their own containers.
Gotcha. So
that's a good idea.
Yeah, let's run the CodeC real quick, and that'll help us hone in on kind of where we should be looking here, and then we can see if it's a Flexbox or not.
Awesome.
So just gonna refresh. Nice.
She writes, but I'm curious how others would do it. Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the main page right here. We have some console logs coming out. That looks like a good place to start. So here are the different console logs. We can probably take these out. I mean, that's the nice thing about the CodeC recording. We're trying to understand what that page variable contains. And if we go up here, we can see that data structure. So this would be what's coming in, where we have a page. It's letting us know that this is the home page or something. a flavor and a layout. It leads to other pages. And here's the title and the path and everything. And so then we dig into that. And it's this page context dot page, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're looking at, which looks exactly the same. So that is the same data that we're pulling from Contentful in that GraphQL query. Where does this start to get rendered, though, I think is the question. And that's what we're trying to find out. Is this Flexbox or not? So...
And does that... Because we've got the header, but that's not the... Could it be in the default layout?
Yep, that's probably where a lot of the site-wide stuff gets set up. So let's go... is there a way to jump there? Can I select the...
No, but there should be.
That would be fun, yeah, for these, the JSX, essentially, right? Because that's basically a function that we're passing parameters to. It's just in this HTML-like format. So, but it's easy. It's the next one down, since it's at the top of the layout section here.
There's our helmet.
So we're just passing that title from Contentful, both for the page and the site. And then we get down, and that calls into this main menu.
And main menu is our component, right?
Yep. So that's the next one down.
There's our links.
What's up?
Sorry, there's our links I see there from the GraphQL query.
Exactly. So it's a static query pulling this kind of Contentful site data right there. And then that includes a menu object in Contentful where we have the list of different links and stuff. So we can dive in a little bit and see that in this format too. So we'll have maybe some flavoring. We could potentially have different types of menu styling. I think it should probably be pretty consistent, though, at least for now. We do have a title, which we set in Contentful. So this is the main menu. And these links, you know what I'm not seeing here? I'm not seeing the logo. Where does the logo come into play, right?
Mobile. We've got a mobile navigation as well.
Oh,
but there, sorry. There you can see it's a Flex 71, line 71. So vPrevail's called it.
Okay, and there's another flex right here on line 69. So we have the whole header, and then we have this wrapper right here, which encompasses the mobile navigation as well as a link. What's this div right here? This is the logo right here from 71. Yeah, kind of this div down to 75.
And brand mark is its own component, which probably has its own GraphQL query, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, that's just an assumption.
Yeah, it's kind of a static plug and play thing that probably makes sense. So this header and the top level div, that's maybe what we'd want to set the what was it, vPrevail's, the flex spacing or like the alignment or something like that. One of those components. Yeah.
Justify content space between.
Space between. Awesome. So let's
because we've got item center and justify between.
And then we have the desktop navigation component here. That's actually where the links will be encompassed, and the brand mark div and link around it over here. Cool. I want to pull these files up while they're fresh in my mind, and then maybe take a look at some of the styling in the browser, right?
Yeah, so that would be the main menu component.
Yeah.
Main menu, there it is.
There you go. And then we are also looking at the like an icon or something, brand. Here we go. So we have our brand mark.
Nice.
Yeah.
As always, folks, if the size is too small, do please let us know. I think at the moment they look fine, but sorry, the font looks fine, but yeah, do please
For sure.
give us a shout.
And I think the last one is desktop navigation. And that's part of this main menu. Okay, so there's like a main menu desktop component and a main menu mobile component as well.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. We're looking at the, sorry, I meant to look at the desktop one.
Oh, good.
This is that static query we saw through GraphQL. And here's the header and the div wrapping it. Right?
Perfect. And
Cool.
there we can see flex, item center, and justify between. So we've got justify content space between. I need to bring up the Tailwind docs real quick.
Mm-hmm. Let me go take a look at what that actually translates to.
Justify content is justify content does justify content space between, which is the one that vPrevails recommended. I think
Space between.
Space between. Yeah. But why
So
is
justify between is the Tailwind class, and it's setting space between the elements.
Yes. And I think the problem is that it, as vPrevail says, it looks like it already has it. However, we've got 3 elements in here, one of which is hidden. That's the mobile navigation, I would suspect.
Yep.
The other one below that is the brand mark, and the other one is the navigation itself.
Mm-hmm.
The navigation itself is full width.
That's kind of growing to fill the extra space, so there isn't extra space between, right?
Yeah. And let's take, so what if we, you read my mind.
Yeah.
Instant.
There we go.
Instant.
That's what
instant.
it is. Mm-hmm.
Good call.
It shows some of the complexity with this Flexbox styling, though, right? Where even though on the wrapper we said justify between, that particular element happened to say width 100% and try to grab up as much space as it could, which essentially nullified this class right here, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's still better than styling with tables, though. Maybe.
I mean, I missed. I think I just missed getting into tech early enough to get for the tables, but I definitely had my time with float right and float left.
Oh yeah. I was kind of right about where I was getting into. And then just divs. It just went to divs everywhere, right? Yep. For a while.
Div tables. Yep. So it looks like we want to do that inside the desktop navigation component. vPrevail says those were the days. They were indeed days. I don't know about the days, but they were days indeed.
Okay. All right. And there we go.
Nice. So that's already something solved. That is darn impressive. So right align the links, then we've got to remove the logo title, and so the logo fits fully.
So that's going to be going into that brand mark component here. And so I think this was designed to set up, it's a different type of logo as well, though, right? It's not just the logo, it's the letter mark with the DA in there. If you go if we look at the Figma right there, right? And so what we have is the logo. This word is like the title and stuff like that down there. But we also probably want to change the image that's being used at some point as well, right?
Do we have that image? I mean, I guess in the Figma.
That's what I'm wondering, though. I might have set this up as its own component to kind of encapsulate some of these settings, right? So let's go solve the title issue first, but then let's circle back and why is this its own React component instead of just being, an image that's linked to straight where it's needed, right? You thought, you're totally right. You said there'd be a query to go get that logo information in the component and that's where we're seeing right here. So this is the H3. We want that to be gone, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't need it.
Okay. Oh no, can you not do HTML comments in JSX?
Should be able to.
I thought it would work.
You know what? Try it with inline JavaScript. So instead, do curly brace and then yep.
Yeah, it's sad though. I like my little stuff. There we go.
Curly, then you should be good.
I've been spending more time in warehouses than in code bases recently, so might be a little bit rusty. Okay, so that made the whole. Why did everything disappear there? Because we have the image.
Yeah, but it's got a 0 by 0. Could you go up to block? Is it also 0 by 0?
Yep.
They're all 0 by 0.
Okay, so
you know, Taylor, that would, I think, the size of this is based on the size of the title.
That would explain our size problem. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we need is to infer the size of that, or give it like a minimum size or something.
I feel like there's a responsive image class. I've seen that kind of on like a couple of tips or tricks. Like here's the CSS reset, and you can have this responsive image class to make it easier. I kind of feel like I just want the logo to be as big and take up as much space as it can, and then let the container set how big it should actually be, or kind of be that limiting bit, right? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I think I used that, in fact, for the region page images.
Okay, I'm just trying to remember what the command for it was.
I'll look it up as well. So Gatsby. Could this be a Gatsby?
Yeah, it might be. Let me go get that file open, because what I'm thinking here is we're just doing the image by itself, right? And I feel like there's that Gatsby image class which you were working with, and that might be the proper way to do this for caching and other things, rather than linking directly, kind of hot linking to this on Contentful.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Gatsby image from here. I'm going to send it to you in the private chat.
Sweet.
Send you that, and I'll send you how a usage of it.
Yeah, I feel like I definitely just want to look at where we're already using this in the code base, right? Nice.
I found it in the region page. Oh, sorry, region page.tsx on line 61. That makes more sense than copy pasting code to you.
Yeah.
My bad.
It's like a layout or something, though, right? It's there's the where we work page.
Oh, sorry. Yes, it's under templates.
Templates, yeah. There we go.
Because it's a page template, yeah.
Line 61, you said. Yeah, there we go. That's exactly. That might fix at least one of our issues.
That's the one.
Okay, so it's expecting a region here. That's wrong, though. We have our logo file. And so I wonder here if that logo file URL, that's not exactly, we're passing this Gatsby image data, right? So we might need to use CodeC to kind of figure out what this looks like. And if there's
Yeah.
other settings, or use the GraphQL Explorer tool to figure out the right thing there.
Image data. What are the? I'm just looking at the docs for Gatsby image. Gatsby image.
Cool. I'm going to take a look and see if we can't find that using our existing snapshot with CodeC. So there's the brand mark here, and that gets this the logos for the site, and each logo has a file. And so
Style cross origin cats.
So we might be able to just pass the file bit
Oh,
in.
look, you can get the size from it. Sorry.
Oh, all good. No, I'm kind of discovering the same thing you are, I think, at the same time. So
Cross origin. Region map photo image data.
region. I'm trying to figure out what the GraphQL for that looks like.
Because we want to get that image data, not so much the file. Sorry, the URL.
Yeah, so I'm just like, is there that photo? Does that come up anywhere? There we go.
Will we
Okay.
have access to the... Oh,
Yeah. And so on the data geo region here in the GraphQL, we're requesting this map photo field, and then we're just asking for the Gatsby image data from that.
yeah. How did we do that with... Sorry, just thinking out loud. How did we do that with the page banner?
Right on, yeah, for that. I think we initially included that directly as an SVG, right?
Oh, yeah, that's
But
the thing.
no, but I think we did actually end up getting it on Contentful, so that would be another kind of hint to look for. I think we made it in icons.
It's under section page banner, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, and the content came directly from... The content came from Contentful, and that's why we used a... What's it called? Contentful content photo. Right?
Oh yeah, yeah. It was like the right. So there we go.
Contentful. We found it. Nice.
Yeah, it's in source components content. Yeah. So this is also just using behind the scenes that file.url, and I think I created some of these early content components like the logo mark or this before I really understood Gatsby image data.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe a good area for some refactoring at some point is just looking for, the image tags directly and seeing if we can't replace them with Gatsby image. So on the region page, though, we just ask for the Gatsby image data from the map photo.
So the question is, could I get __ GraphQL going here?
That's
because where
was it just /__GraphQL or?
That's correct. And for that, we would need to be able to. So because sorry, this is a lot of like discovering as I go here.
No, it's fun though. I think we can kind of copy and paste this GraphQL query in, and then maybe explore that from there.
That's a great idea.
Just see what we have going on. Okay.
Then you can run that query.
Mm-hmm.
There's the URL. So I wonder.
So we do have that full file bit there.
Yeah. But I wonder if we can get that image data. That'd be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Contentful sites. If you keep
Yeah.
going down. I think you want to scroll down. Contentful site. Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
Logos. Match. And then under
image data.
Oh, hello. That's what we want.
Let's just ask it right in here, so we get the logos, the title. Let's be image data, and then what do we just kind of ask for that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Okay. There's an image. Interesting though. Gatsby image data is null for all of these. Why would that be? We clearly have different images here for different logos, and we can see the word mark horizontal white. That's where that title is coming from originally, right?
It looks like the Gatsby image data isn't really there for these logos, which is unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
So
because we're getting it from the region page here. Should we just try? Let's just see what we're getting over here, like why it would be different.
why is that getting an error? I think map photo or no.
Yeah, it's just didn't have any parameters there. Nope.
No. Line 11. No. Could it be there's a I think there's a missing curly closing bracket? No.
Mm-hmm. Nope, you're spot on. Yeah, I think so. No? Could not find page. Region page detail.
Oh, we've got two queries.
Oh, okay. Not find contentful data. That's a real query. Let me just rebuild this real quick. All contentful data georegion.
And what we're trying to find out is,
Just want to look, that map photo right there. So over here we can see there is Gatsby image data.
And I think from that you can.
So then you got to choose.
Of course.
Is there something there?
That's it.
Yeah, so here we are getting all of that Gatsby image data, right? So how do we do that for these logos? Like, why were we getting null when clearly this is something that's working?
Could it be that this data isn't associated with the logos? But I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not sure how Contentful processes that. I'm surprised that that's an option.
Yeah. Here we have logos for the site, and then they have Gatsby image data. Yeah, weird. Why is that happening?
Could it be that that's something we need to enable on Contentful?
I don't think so. I mean, I can try to log into Contentful and see. We do have 20 minutes, so maybe let's go solve some other issues like the title and things like that, and marinate on this and come back to it at the end.
Sounds good. And folks in the chat, if you've got any ideas, and like, we're going to be working on this today, but if it's fine with you, Taylor, I'm happy to say, like, comment on the GitHub issue. Please do, like, let us know, and I'll like unassign myself and assign you, intrepid helper. Yeah.
That's awesome. So if anyone has any ideas on how to move forward getting this Gatsby image data set up here, right? I wonder if image and alt will work.
So worth a try. I was looking at the I was looking at the docs for Gatsby image, and there doesn't seem to be an SRC property. Are they called properties? I think they're called properties. Yeah, a prop.
Yeah, it's not really showing up. So I might.
But shall we take a look? Sorry, would you mind?
Oh, no, go for it. Yep.
Would you mind going back and just making sure that that the image is at least populating, sort of? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we need the image to show up, right? So
true. Just want to make sure that there is indeed data there. Because I believe that does look good.
Yeah, we're definitely getting the alt there. Is there there's no source on this image though. So I think we need to like
what if Taylor?
Yeah.
Sorry. Would you mind going back?
Mm-hmm.
Could it be something with the link itself, the A tag? Could you try adding the block, that one, the exactly class text wide? Could you try making that a display block, just in case? I want to be
totally. Yeah, let me do that here in the styles, and then
oh yeah, good call.
So that doesn't help.
Something is stopping it from something is sort of stopping the image from for lack of a better term, inflating.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's leave that for now, I'd say.
Okay. Let me just go back and actually get the image appearing though.
Sure thing. I believe what you'll need to do is set an explicit width and height.
Right. So like
oh yeah, that makes sense.
Something like that. Oh, you're right. There is something with that A tag.
Maybe go about it the
other way around.
Yeah, go about it inside out. Maybe on the image itself, put the width and height to be 16 and 16.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Okay.
That's definitely what we want.
So I wonder if it's because it's of this, like making the image wrapper a flex, right? Like I wonder if we take that away. What'll happen here? So same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So that would be a level higher, I believe. Oh no, it's class name. So yeah, you want to do that under brand mark. No? We're in brand mark. Sorry. In main menu desktop.
Yeah. So that comes in.
Where's brand mark? Oh, you know
Might
what? I
be
think it's
in
just
the
main
menu.
menu. Yeah.
So here's the link right here, class name, and that's where we wanted. Is there like a width 100% or height 100%? Because ideally it would expand to fill whatever we set this nav bar height to.
Give it, I think you want to do it, Taylor. Sorry, could you go back?
Mhm.
I think you want to do it in the brand mark level in line 73.
Okay.
We can give it a try.
Yeah.
So it'll be width 100.
Oh,
sorry. Full.
full. There we go.
See, I'm now starting to memorize the difference between Bootstrap and Tailwind.
Yeah.
Let's see how that looks. Huh.
Oh, so it's setting 100% and 100%, and it's a block. But because its parent doesn't have that or something like that, then it's all.
Could you try 1616 again? That does it, but it's not not quite there.
So it's actually, it looks like that is the height of this nav bar, or it's the height of the outer layer, right?
Yeah.
And so then that has some padding. This gets a bit smaller here. What is that driven by? That's probably driven by the size of the navigation bar right there, right? So it might make sense to just set this as a standard height kind of across the board. Like make it.
Would H full work? No, that didn't work before. Why would it work now?
Yeah, but that might work actually if these children get a standard height. No.
I'll admit I'm not. Every time I think, oh yeah, I get CSS, I think, nope, I still have a lot to learn.
Yeah. There we go. So we set the wrapper right to 16, and then we set the link to fill that wrapper up.
Got it.
And now I don't think we need this here.
Nice.
Okay. So on the brand mark itself, we just want to say, hey, it's got to have a full width and full height, right? So here's our brand mark. Here's that div. We have class names. Class names. Is there a way to just add this on? So we can do like class name plus.
We could do a string template in there. That works too. Yeah.
Okay. No, what's the string template way? I feel like that's the better
with the backticks. Exactly.
Nice. Sweet.
Yeah, that works.
Over here.
So in line 73, you want to remove width full and H full.
Yeah.
And then
I guess we wanted those on. We wanted the sizing here, like with 16, height 16. Then maybe we didn't need to do that on the backtick. So we're going to want it here on the link. Does that work? Yeah, it was on the link. We needed that. And so then
happens to me all the time.
It was like, which level is this going in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think at some point I saw you switch, what are those called? Screens?
Oh, yeah.
because of course you want it to go back to your editor. Your editor
Right.
is not a
Yes. And no,
it's
an
not a
Alex
tab
is
on a
directly.
browser.
Exactly. It's like force to habit built in.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
feel that.
Okay. Let's oh now everything's broken. What did I do?
Is it broken?
No,
No.
there we go. Okay.
Nice. That does it.
Yep. We remove the title and sweet. I wonder if we could do something like flex. Oh no, bad idea. I'm not. It worked. It worked already. Cool. So we have the right aligned links here, and then we've started to solve the issue with the logo here. There was that one other bit where we wanted to see if we could choose the different logo, the letter mark, right? And so that's coming in. Where do we choose that? So brand mark layouts. Okay, that's coming in from our props. So that would be something that can be controlled directly from Contentful with this query right here.
Cool. Shall we go ahead and make that commit?
Yeah, let's lock it in.
Oh yeah, you need to git checkout.
Oh no, there we go. It's just
oh, we are on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Git diff.
Oh, weird.
Oh, you know what? You might want to. Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. So we commented out the H3. I think I should just go ahead and remove that. We don't really want the title to ever be there. Yeah. Cool. And then we also fixed the image being oversized here with 1616, and then on the link, making sure that was full. Does that look right to you with what we ended up settling on?
Yes, I would say so. I think that works well with what we want to achieve,
Yeah.
and we can merge that in, and I think we can call that issue closed. Actually.
Yeah. We have what V Prevails suggested using that justify center, and we just had to take what
we gotta give her a shout out in the pull request.
Yeah.
If you're comfortable with that, V Prevails. If you'd rather not, totally fine.
Cool. So we're doing conventional commits, right? So this would be a feature, and is that an accurate enough commit message right there, or should we list out some of what we touched up here?
Oh, I was actually thinking of doing so in the GitHub.
Oh, like on a
the
comment
pull request.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Cool.
Touch-up styles for main nav. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think as is, that's
that's kind of what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, sweet. She likes it. Okay, we're gonna give you that shout out in the pull request.
Awesome.
Oh, sweet. Oh, I mean, thank you for your help.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, we forgot.
I forgot to add it. Yeah. Okay, cool.
So git
now
push.
I can push, and it's a new branch.
Nice.
You do this a different way. There's an origin. I think.
Yeah, I don't know which way is better. I usually type in the full git push origin and then name of branch. But I don't think there's a.
Yeah, there we go. There's this.
I mean, And you can use that link that you taught me. Yes. Create a pull request on GitHub by visiting. If you move up that one, yeah. Now let's do it on GitHub.
Yeah,
I would say.
it's like an fair warning. My laptop has 5% battery left, so if I drop out randomly at all in the last few minutes here, I just want to say in advance, it was a pleasure as always.
All good. Taylor, shall I take over so that you can?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll stay on as long as I can, or I can go grab my charger here real quick. Let me flip it back to you though.
All good. I'll carry on with the pull request. Yeah, take your time. Hopefully we don't lose Taylor, and if not, again, thank you so much. All right, let's get that pull request going. Compare and pull request. So, I would say we can call this touch up styles for main navigation bar. It's a review from Taylor. Special. No, wait. First, we need to fixes. This one. Special thanks to. I don't know V Prevails.
What's your GitHub handle?
She's made some contributions before, so it should be around here. I think it's this one.
I mean, would we necessarily recognize it though?
Yes.
Awesome. Good.
Need a CodeC recording, and then we're good to go.
Yep. And we're going to need a new one of those, right?
Yes.
Cool.
This isn't running. Why isn't this running?
I know the Git Pod.
I forgot to refresh that. I'm logged into CodeC.
Git Pod, if you're watching this, could you please sponsor our stream so that we can have all of your awesomeness and have it work when we need it to work?
They seem like wonderful people, and I'm not just saying that because we're using their product live on stream. They do seem like I know some of their folks there, and they are lovely people.
Sweet. It definitely seems like one of those like solid community tools that
Totally. And I think, and especially nowadays in our age of like active collaborative tools being so important and prevalent, I think it makes all the difference.
Yeah, 100%.
So let's do that refresh.
I mean, that's the sort of thing that like allows us to keep these streams going in that very collaborative way. I had to duck out to get my charger for a second, and you just picked it up like that and kept on rolling, right? So
totally.
It really highlights the shift in how we're using the web at work to work with each other, despite being totally different places in the world or having different things like pop up.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely wonderful. Current CodeC recording. I think we got everything, right?
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, recording. You shared it publicly though, right?
I did.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
I made darn sure to do that.
Sweet.
Well, let's let those things run. I will say I will have to hop onto a meeting now.
Yep.
So I will say thank you all so much for watching. It's been an absolute joy. Taylor, thank you once again.
I'm really glad to
the next one.
Exactly. Get back on our study stream each week. Yeah.
And again, V Prevails, thank you for contributing, and to folks watching, it's been a joy. See you next time.
Take care, y'all.
Bye-bye now.